Hello and welcome back, guys. This is round one of today's tournament. We have Luna Gaming in the bottom right hand corner, that being the blue team, and in the purple team we have Klaus. Yep. I am Pulse, and I'm today not joined by anyone because I'm just by myself. But that does not detract from the amazingness of this first game and the rest of the tournament. So we have a lot of good teams here today, and potentially. Thank you, Jace. We will have an invade here. They do have the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank generally means you can invade with pretty much impunity. If you have some CCs back it up, there's very little the enemy team can do about it. They have indeed watered it. That's coming from the hands of Janna, that being Chitty Bang. Which, again, makes a lot of sense. They were predicting the invade, and it looks like, okay, they're going to stay here. Generally, the enemy team will just sweep the enemy jungle. If they don't get the kill, then they'll just go back into the enemy, into their own jungle, and then they'll just go with the normal route. But they are, in fact, staying here. They have Strike of the Best, Chitty Bang, and that Graves, one with Biceps just to the north as well. Whether they want to fight this, I'm not too sure. Let's take a look at the CC and the up-front damage. Now, we have Pandemonium. Looks pretty even. The bookshot as well, that's AoE, a lot of damage coming out immediately. You have a pretty good level 1 team. They're probably just going to go ahead and wait for a couple of people to go back, because bottom lane will probably be backing... Yep, there we go, the recall. We'll be going back about now, 4 versus 5. So, if they're going to go for it, as Blitzcrank is just spamming out his laugh, they could definitely do it very soon. Okay, North is going to go ahead and go for those wolves. They are committed. They're going to turn around the corner. Smokescreen goes down. Leeson coming in from the side as well. Chitty Bang just supporting with a couple of auto attacks. Bicep coming in from the side. Paul lands onto Pandemonium, but that was not the best engage. Now Frogger in the bad position, enclosed by the rest of the enemy team. And that'll be first blood picked up by Strike of the Best. Great Q into the kick. We'll be picking up that first blood. That will really cripple Frogget right now, that being on the Nautilus. They're going to be going for this blue, pretty much losing nothing. Strike of the Best picking up that kill, and when the jungler picks up the first kill, it gets kind of brutal. Chitty Bang actually getting pulled by Dexter. Does not have the knock-up, but Radok's bringing out huge damage from that hammer form to the skies, and Graves actually picking up that blue buff. Not sure if that was intentional. Generally, you want your jungler to be getting that first blue buff. We'll give him the extra XP and the sustain in the jungle that he really needs. Wouldn't be surprised if Strike of the Best maybe tries to get level 2 and ganks. He could be ganking at level 1, but has nothing really to follow up. Pull goes down from Kerp. Frog is kind of behind at this point, but that being said, Strike of the Best was punished by that bottom lane coming from Luna. Strike of the Best going to go for the enemy red. Okay, he's level 1 right now. Generally, you go for these invades at level 2. You will take less damage and you have the sustain as Lee Sin. You'll have the W as well. He's actually going to go with the Smite. He'll be taking a lot of damage though. He's about 25% right now. So, if he pops always pots, he should be healthy, and he might... Oh no, he's only got 1 pot left. He could go for a gank, but it's going to be dicey. He has a lot of upfront damage from that Q into his Tempest Critical combo, which he's indeed gone for, so he is looking for this gank to happen. Wards have not gone down in that tri-bush, they don't know, and they are not aware of his presence. Q goes down, will land onto Radox, into Tempest, looking for the cripple. There it is, knockback goes down, Graves following up as well, looking for those auto attacks. One more auto attack will pick up that kill onto Radox, bringing it to a 1-2 advantage for Klaus. They're about just under 1k ahead at this point. Pretty significant, but again, early days in the game. Anything can happen. And Kerp is just spotting the Pool Boy Zig skin as well. Had not even noticed. Absolutely fantastic. At top right now, we will have the Riven versus Irelia matchup. I didn't talk too much about this because I was in fact talking about Jace. But Irelia, against that matchup, Riven kind of wins it. But Irelia has a potential to kind of outplay Riven, but yeah, it's kind of a skill matchup, but definitely Riven does have the upper hand, just kind of as a base. So taking a look at that mid, Evelyn versus Ziggs. Ziggs will outrange Evelyn, and meanwhile in the jungle we do have an invade. Frogget looking to be very aggressive, pulling out that red buff. Evelyn coming in from the side as well, actually juking that Q. Knockback comes down from Kerp. He is pretty much out of mana, looking for that last auto attack, and the turn this one around. Pandemonium coming there as well. We do have Irelia from the south, but jumping onto Frogget. Is about 10%, or 20% HP, being chunked down quickly by Strike of the Best. He's landing that auto attack. Actually takes the time to auto attack a minion. Riptide goes down. Flash over the wall from Mimbashi, picking up that kill. 1-for-1 trade so far. Kerp will be taken out, but last charge is Broken Wings. Pandemonium trying to get back to his turret. Mimbashi looking for that slow from the red buff. Is now double buff, which is pretty scary. And we were just talking about who was going to win that matchup, but double buff kind of seals the deal, as it were, for that early game. And look at the equilibrium strike straight into that Blaze Surge, and a moment jumping back in just to see him down. And you can do that as Riven. Like, even if you're low health, you can jump back in with the knockback, and you can generally just escape with the rest of the mobility combo. You have Biceps coming in mid, who won't be seen for another couple seconds. I I'm not entirely sure they can pick up this kill. Pandemonium is about 40% HP. Biceps does have a lot of early game damage, not to be discounted. At this point, it's into Hate Spike rather. And meanwhile, bottom we do have some action. Radux jumping onto Chili Bang, and Dexter putting out the Power Fist as well. That'll be the first kill. Radux getting chunked down by Ridley. Duking, trying to get the auto attacks down, going into the brush. Dexter's just trying to zone him away, but he just doesn't care at this point. He doesn't have the peeling capability at this point. And we will have Frogger being once again very aggressive, trying to get into the enemy jungle. Will be taken out immediately by the reaction from the enemy team. And 1 second. What was that, Hex? Okay. We just potentially had some problems talking to my producer, but we are 3 to 6 advantage right now for Klaus, and a lot like generally what a lot of people were thinking, a lot of people I was talking to, was just that this would kind of be a stomp because they are about 1900 either. It's quite good actually. Meanwhile, mid Striker the Best coming in, and we have that W. Wow, the range on Satchel Charge has been significantly increased. Yeah, Ziggs, I could definitely see Ziggs potentially being viable now. That escape is pretty good. Like before, it was just kind of like a small jump, and it was a bit like a ribbon jump. He could get over walls, but it wasn't enough really to seal his escape. But now that's pretty significant. Once again, Striker the Best still looking to follow up onto Kerp at mid. And Luna's definitely a favorites for this game. This is what I was trying to say, because they are higher reload. They are more. I definitely see them more in tournaments. They are more. Striker the Best actually jumping in here, jumping onto Kerp. Will be picking up the kill immediately. Looking to follow up. Got the red buff slow as well. Frogger coming over the wall into the ultimate from Ziggs as well. He is ticking down. Anchor to the back of the head. Scary. So right now they are reclaiming some kills. That was 2 for 0, and really Brill down at bottom, just waiting for something to happen. Like that, Jace Lane can be very aggressive, but they have been punished and they have been battered down. Basically looking for that engage from Dexter. He just hit a minion right there, but they are looking for the engage because when they pull them in, he can separate. And that being said, Jan is going to get a lot of counter initiate when it hits that sort of 6 area. Meanwhile, Tom are just bumping heads at the moment. That's generally to be expected. The fact that Irelia got those early kill and the double buff means it kind of evens up the lane. Like, Riven will still be strong against Irelia, but it will kind of even it up a bit. She's actually 2 levels ahead of her right now, in fact. I've not even noticed. Take a look at the farm difference, in fact. 30 to 48. So she is winning out on farm. Irelia's going to go for the double Doran shield start, which makes a lot of sense. Generally, if you can't win your lane and you're looking to just survive, you go for the double Doran shields. Gives you everything. Gives you the armor, gives you the health regen and the health. And it's kind of underrated, and a lot of players underrate the strength of the Doran shields, but if you are behind, it makes a lot of sense to go for that. The most common matchup that I've seen is the Irelia versus Vladimir matchup, where Irelia has the inherent advantage. Vladimir goes with the double Doran shield, just keeps him alive in lane so he can get to that stage where he just starts doing some damage. Also the fact that the house translates into AP anyway, so you know, it's a very logical choice for Vladimir to pick up. Biceps is going to go ahead, pick up that blue buff, and right now she is level 6. I would not expect her to gank very shortly. Very convoluted way of saying she's going to gank, but she is going down into that bottom lane. She does, of course, have that passive stealth. She's been moved onto that passive innate ability. She's looking to do something very shortly. What does he have right now? Let's take a look at the items. He has the Cage's Lucky Pick, so she is looking to build into that Deathfire Grasp for that insane burst. Just have the Agony's Embrace, looking to initiate right now. Hate Spike goes down. And can they actually jump on this Buckshot as well? But they haven't really got the diving capability. They're just not tanky enough. They don't have someone to just straight up tank the turret. So at least that's some pressure. She used the ultimate as well, but the ultimate's on. I think it's like, actually, let's take a look at the ultimate. 1 minute 30, still pretty significant, but it did get reduced. So that's not too bad. Striker the best once again. Meanwhile, bottom Dexter is actually going to go ahead and initiate. Frogger coming in from the side as well with Riptide, and this should be an easy kill pickup. And is the Thundering Blow for the finish on that one. Meanwhile, mid, Biceps just getting bullied out by Ziggs. And it's kind of one of those typical hard initiation lanes. We're looking at the top right now. Imbus Sheep is Pandemonium, and he actually jumps in with the Blade Surge. Striker the best coming in from the side. Tempest will be duped by that flash from Sheep. And he will just go ahead and recall. He can probably stay in right now. At least he probably won't camp the lane for too long. But it is just trying to farm. That's what it is. It's a farm lane for Irelia. That's what she's trying to do. She really can't win the lane unless she significantly outplays the opponent. Kerr potentially in a bad position. Satchel Charge. Oh, going with the Hex Tech Minefield. And actually just stops them from even doing anything. Biceps actually in a dodgy position. Ultimate goes down. Will try to juke it, but will juke back into it. Frog coming in from the stride. Striker the best will pop down the Dragon's Rage. Frog looking for that Q. And the anchor ticking off from the red buff, picking up that kill. Kill trying to pop over the wall, but a slightly janky angle. That's the problem with the satchel charge escape. Like, with a normal escape, you can aim it, but you have to position yourself in relative to the actual satchel charge. So if you're trying to get over the wall, you can go into a really odd angle where it won't actually push you over the wall. And those mechanics are always dodgy as well. And Frogget actually moving onto this red buff will just be momentarily hitting Pandemonium, just to pin him in place and then cancelling the rest of the animation so he can get out of there. Frogget will be picking up that red, not going to stick around to take those minions. It's an unnecessary risk really for the timer. And again, it's still an inconvenience as the lead in, so there's no real need for him to actually stick around. Right now, moving on to the mid lane. I touched on it a little bit before, and just looking at Kerp, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, okay, same principle as Distortion. So if you pop Escape and then recall, then you'll carry on recalling even though you're displaced, because it's basically like a friendly displacement. With Distortion, you can distort, recall, and then distort back to the other point. I'm not sure what the practical implications of that would be, but it looks pretty good. And in that mid lane, you particularly have Biceps, which is the hard initiation with that massive burst. She doesn't have a lot of poke. With Ziggs, she's like short range against long range, so you have the poke from Kerp on Ziggs, and he'll be looking to poke her down. Meanwhile, bottom, Brill getting initiated on, counter initiate from the Monsoon, and he should be good to go. Moving into the smoke screen will put his vision. But Evelyn is really looking to jump onto Ziggs, initiate on him, and burst him down before she can get poked down by Ziggs. The difficulty with that is that Ziggs can constantly kite, and it's always looking for that opportunity where you can go for that hard initiate. That's why poke and mobility is really king right now, because if you play it right, you should never get initiated on, or never be able to get initiated on until you really want it to happen. You get those small victories, and right now he's 2 kills ahead. Striker the best, looking for that kill at bottom, will be landing the Q, and next the pole as well. Radux following him to the skies, Frogget looking for the counter gank as well, in with a depth charge. Exhausted Radux along with Brill. Striker the best going to jump with the safeguard. Dexter following up. And ultimate coming in from Ziggs will be picking up the kill onto Lee Sin. Radux being followed. Nice juke from the bookshot. Brill looking to follow up. Rocket going to jump to the side. Kerp also there to follow up some damage. Acceleration gate goes down. He is following up with those who's be juking over the wall with that quick draw. Flash goes down by Kerp. Biceps from the side as well. Will have that first potential up. Screen goes down, cutting the vision. Rocket going in with the anchor will land it into the combo from Ziggs as well, into the auto attacks, and Rocket will be picking that one up, in fact. Generally as a support jungler, you do want to donate those, but it was kind of, they want to save that time so they could potentially go for this dive at bottom. Kerp jumping over the wall, the satchel charge, bang potentially in a bad position, but it's more, actually could pick up the kill onto Janna, but they are looking for the kill onto Graves, who is 100% out of position. And then first off, they turn their attention to Janna, because obviously it's like, if you can get the second kill, then we'll go for it, but Graves is definitely one of those secured kills because he is in a dodgy position and they can just simply encircle him. Tried his best, went in out of the quick draw, but alas, to no avail. We will have Pandemonium dropping very low at top. He flashed up red briefly when I was at bottom. And Imber Sheep actually winning on this trade. Generally, when Irelia and champions like Jax and Bad as well, a lot of top laners do gain a lot of power at level 9. You should kind of hit that stage where she should probably have those 5 points in hidden style. Yep, she does, and she's going into the Equilibrium Strike now as well, because the extended CC is always nice to have. Really just using that Q for the gap closer more than anything. So, Pandemonium in quite a dodgy position right now. If Imber Sheep gets the mana for it, it's actually going to go for this dive. There we go, Key Burst comes out. Imber Sheep tries to get away from this knockback as well from the last charge of that Q. Meanwhile, bottom pull goes on the shitty bang from Dexter. Looking for two disguise. Monsoon will interrupt the animation. And he will be out of there. Blitzcrank actually backed off, assuming that's a secured kill. Looking to follow up with the acceleration gate with the shock blast as well, but Leeson also there to stop that from happening. Extremely good mechanical play from Janna. Dexter's just going to go ahead, pull Brill in, but will actually be stopping Radux from hitting that shock blast. He was aiming at the point where Graves would be, so a bit of miscommunication, but he landed what he could. So right now they're 11-6. They are 11-6, just missing out all of words. They are ahead in gold right now, about 3k ahead, moving on to 4k as well. Do have that ward, the Troggets going down though, with the Astro Nautilus skin. Brillo Lee. Also there, Radek looking for the initiation, Bicep coming in, and casual damage goes as well. Juking into them with quick draw, looking to follow up on this one. There's the kill Straight kill from Biceps. And Dexter looking for the pull over the wall, gets it, does not have enough mana for the power fist, actually jams him against the wall. Frogger comes in as well. But 4 versus 3 situation. Ziggs coming in from the north. Is in quite a dodgy situation. Hextech Minefield rip apart should he bang, bring him to about 50% HP. Frogger looking to follow up. You have Lee Sin landing that Q. Really can't initiate on it though. That'll be the rampage from Kurt. Bicep still in that jungle, he knows she is. Just throwing out those skill shots, trying to tag someone. And Strike the Best still is in that bush. He will be juking him. Auto attack goes down with the enhanced damage. Unstoppable. Pandemonium also there. No idea how he got there. He's also there to assist. How many times can I say there in one sentence? Pink ward has gone down, so they will be able to cancel all that immediately. And I really will probably take this opportunity to go ahead and push top. There is no one laning there at the moment. Biceps and Brill also there. Pandemonium actually going to juke into the brush. Dexter also chiming in for that assist onto that kill. Curb also there ripping apart the enemy team. Radox back from base with full health, full mana. Forcing some extra damage with those items as well. Shock Blast for Acceleration Gate. The damage. I believe that was just an enhanced auto attack, that being short fuse from Curb. A lot of damage coming out for scales for that AP, so quite relevant into that mid-game phase. They will just go ahead and push bottom. I really probably going to pick up that top turret. There we go. Just face tanking it for a bit. She is tanky at this stage where she can actually do that. And again, not too much happening. So, oh, as I said, Lee Sin just over the wall. Let's take a look at the item builds. Really haven't paid them too much attention. So, Graves has gone for the double Durans into the pickaxe. So he's gone for the pickaxe instead of the BF sword because he didn't have enough money at the time. So he's still looking for the damage. He wants to go for that Infinity Edge. So you're still getting a component and you're still getting the damage meanwhile. So, not too much lost there. And Jace just laughing. That's a very interesting laugh. I haven't heard the Jace laugh before. Okay, so Lee Sin gonna go for the double Durans. You can generally go for double Durans. They're more effective. I'm not sure quite on the statistics, but they're more effective than a Wriggles Lantern. Actually, Brills is getting absolutely decimated by Frogget with the anchor, with the dredge line, and into that damage from Curb. Meanwhile, mid she's going to meet Lee Sin and Evelyn, but she's actually trading off against them very well. Ignite goes down, Exhaust as well. Dragon's Rage will kick him out for the counter initiate, and Ultimate will go out. Smiley face, not picking up that kill. Good lead, but Lee Sin very quick at this point. Even though he's got tier 1 boots, probably running those movement speed quintessences, which is generally what you see on those junglers. On those ganking junglers. So Frogget moving up top along with Ember Sheep, looking to pick up this kill. Dredgeline goes down, will be duped by Pandemonium. Riptide goes down, popping the ultimate immediately before Irelia gets there. She's got a couple of seconds where she can trade off. Death Charge goes down, Ember Sheep initiating with the Blaze Surge. Now following after, Flash goes down into the ultimate from Pandemonium, will not pick up the kill on the very edge of it. Ember Sheep now trading off. And Pandemonium still has the ultimate. And it's just a very slow fight as these Bruces pick each other up. Flash goes down, knockback from Pandemonium into the key burst as well. Dredgeline will CC you in place just for a second. Meanwhile, bottom, Radox will be picked up by Biceps with Brillo Lee chiming in as well for those assists. So that was a 2-for-2 trade all over the board, but Curb is on the hunt for some kills. Got the pink ward there, Biceps will recalling, and he is gone just as the Q goes into that brush. Graves is still there, he knows he's still there. Curb's just going to go and tank that turret. Q goes down, will be duped. Short fuse as well. Duking all the skill shots. Hextech Minefield still doing a massive amount of damage. Ultimate goes down, will be flashed by Brill. And Ignite will not finish him off. And Curb has no way of catching up to him either. Good duke from Graves, basically predicting where he was going to shoot. And Graves putting himself in the bad... Well, he was potentially putting himself in the bad position, but that's what Curb didn't really predict. Curb predicted he would juke into his turret because that's basically the safe haven, but he juked away from it, so he didn't get the damage from the Hextech Minefield, or any of the damage at all. So that would have been the key factor. So it was a good juke, moving in an awkward angle to what Curb actually assumed he was going to move in, and that actually saved his life. So Chitty Bang just around the side, trying to stop this invade from happening. They do have this warded, and they probably predict that as well. Around the Drake areas, Biceps will be picking that up. Strike the Best coming in from the side. Dexter is still there, he's still following up, and Curb's down the bottom. He is out of mana though. Pull comes from Chitty Bang with just initiated on himself. Deathfire Gross goes out, will be landing the Q, flash and follow up with the resonating strike. Graves coming in from the side, and Pandemonium also there, has popped the ultimate, looking for this wind splash for the finish. Radox will be ticking down with the Ignite, will be picked up by Biceps. And this will probably be a Drake pickup right now from Klaus. Frogger pushing mid, and Irelia at top as well. Irelia, there's no real point for Irelia to head down. She's too far away to make a difference, but she can carry on pushing that lane. Could do some damage to that secondary turret, or could recall. We'll be picking up the Drake. Frogger should be okay. Like, Grace doesn't have any CC to really stop him. I think it goes down onto Irelia, but Irelia will probably be just getting out of there. Yep, there's the recall. So right now, gold advantage is about 6k. They are pulling it back though. This is still a close game, but they have gotten those small advantages early on to the game. And Imbersheep jumping onto Pandemonium. Keyburst goes down into the Ignite, jumping back into him with the last charge of Broken Wings just to push him away. Stop him from following up. And interesting build by Nautilus has indeed gone for the Stinger. So 40% attack speed and increased cooldown reduction, which kind of makes sense. Dreadline goes down, good juke from Graves with a quick draw. But it is quite a janky build. Glaciers goes down onto a minion, jumping onto Pandemonium, looking for that kill. But Biceps, look at the burst damage from that Deathfire graft into the ultimate and following up with those hate spikes. And Lee Sin unable even to actually chime in with that assist. Yeah, that is kind of like the strength of Evelynn right now. She has that amazing burst in that mid game, which is absolutely insane, and it's percentage health as well, so it's always going to be effective against those squishies. And even against Irelia, actually pulled from straight onto Chitty Bang from Dexter. That was pretty wizard. Death charge over the wall will be flashing over. It's also there. They do have that warded. Graves popping down that smoke screen. It's got 3 points in it right now, maxing that second. Reply goes down. Will not be tagging anyone. Biceps there as well, looking for that pull. Will not land. Have the acceleration gate. Hate spike goes down from the Initiate. Massive damage coming from the Ravage as well. Collateral damage into the quick draw to secure the vision. Radok's also there. Good kick from Striker's Best, but will be picked up by the legendary curve. Biceps over the wall. Will be temporarily locked up by that satchel charge, but will be picked up as Curve jumps over the wall. Dexter's trying to get out of there as the rest of his team crumbles around him. Radok's trying to get out as well. He should be safe as Evelynn manages to catch up. Does have that W movement speed steroid, but he shouldn't be able to get this unless Radok's actually goes back into them. That's always a possibility. And right now, these are even trades. Like, the enemy team, that being from Klaus, are doing a lot of damage, but it's still kind of even in these trades. Pandemonium has popped the ultimate. Interesting. Okay, so Biceps coming around from the side. Biceps does not have the ultimate, but he is jumping up with the Dark Frenzy. Mixing up all my words, and it'll be unstoppable Biceps. Massive damage, even without the ultimate, she has a lot of damage. I believe the Ravage scaling is like 0.95, which is absolutely insane because it's basically two attacks. So it's like 0.5 on each. Or rather, 0.4 something, 475. Just moving down to bottom lane as well. So you've really got to be careful right now. Probably the best bet is to group up and actually just go for these team fights because Kerper's doing really well. As long as they can peel for him, he'll probably be in a good position where he can just put out that constant damage because Ziggs, he is a burst caster, but like all burst casters, he does have a lot of sustained damage along with that Q as well. So it's not completely out of it. But if they continue in this sort of roaming phase where they have like these small skirmishes, Evelynn's just going to be so strong. Like Evelynn's got 8 kills right now. She's really wants doing work for the enemy team and keeping them in the game. Luna right now just needs to shut her down. Problem is with burst casters is they're going to get their burst before you can really get your... Okay. The best just missing a stationary minion. But the thing with these competitions, and especially with burst casters, is that they can get their burst out before they really CC'd. So, especially with Evelynn, who has that stealth. Dexter coming in from the side. Deathfire Grass goes in into Agony's Embrace. Curving that up, pulling out the massive AoE burst damage. Biceps coming in from the side will be noped by Dexter. Picking up that kill from Nautilus. Dreadline goes down, looking to pin down Chitty Bang. Down. Goes out as well, just to push them back. And now they can just go ahead and siege. So with Evelynn down, a lot of their burst potential was lost. Graves still has some sustained damage. He's doing fairly well, and his base damages will still be relevant in that mid game. But Evelynn is super strong, and she's really what's keeping them in contention. So, going to carry on sieging this turret. Chitty Bang, a good flash from the Dexter into that pull, looking for the power fist, doesn't even need it. Dreadline from the Sprocket will secure that kill. Pandemonium coming in from the side. Blitzcrank will be juking that collateral damage, will be picked up by the buckshot into the tower damage as well. To the skies will slow Pandemonium just for a split second as Kurt tries to get out of there. Hextech Minefield goes in to try and push back the rest of them. Such charge as well will knock Pandemonium to the sides, and Radok's will be picked up. Kurt does not have any escape at this point. Does he have flash? No, he doesn't. His Sasha charge will be up in about 10 seconds, and he will be picked up by Riven. Pandemonium with the double kill. As a 4-for-0 trade, they could go for Baron right now. It's 25 minutes into the game. They have the sustained for it. Back of the Best can pretty much tank that for all day with the Lee Sin. Long Pandemonium as well. That Unbelievable Shield will really keep them healthy during this Baron take. Yep, they're going to go for it. Janna coming up from the side. They have a lot of shields. But they have Pandemonium, they have the Lee Sin, they have the Janna as well. And they have the sustained damage from Blurry. Okay, so Ralox, Frogget, and Imbusheep are moving up to that Baron, down to about 10% HP. This will be picked up before they get there. They've got to be careful not to be picked up though. It's going to be a 3 versus 5 situation. Biceps from the side, we're popping Dark Frenzy. Getting them out of there. Grace just picking up those creeps as well. So they're basically trying to get all the advantages they can in these situations. Like they know they can't go for a straight fight, and Grace just be calling out the bush. Like we dodge it, and they actually went balls deep and went for that middle turret as they were trying to get back into it. Pandemonium going to push top. Quite ballsy, but they did see them in mid, and fairly unlikely for the rest of them to actually roam up there, especially with no safe haven of the turrets. And at this stage in the game, a tier 3 turret really isn't anything. And there's only one left up on the map. No, there's two. There's one in mid as well from Luna. But Klaus right now are pulling themselves back into the game. They have the Baron, so they are probably stronger than them right now. Baron totals 18k gold. So if you add that onto what they have right now, they are in a good position. So they could probably fight them. Diggs is well away from them as well, so they are 4 versus 5, unless they get a pick. Curb does have that blue buff, so he's going to be able to spam all day. Just waiting for something really to happen. So Kurt actually does. Let's take a look at the item builds again, because I think we did this before. We only got like through 2 people. So Kurt's actually gone for the Deathfire Grass. He's got the Zhonya's as well for the teamfight interrupt, and has not gone for the Chalice. He's gone for the double Dorans and the Negatron Cloak as well, which is kind of interesting because with Ziggs he's got super high mana cost. What you see is a lot of people going for that that Fiend's Unholy Grail. But if you have the blue buff, you can probably sustain yourself anyway, so it's kind of okay. They actually are going for this initiation. Dreadfire goes on to Pandemonium, into the hook as well, splitting up the team fight with that Riptide. Biceps ripping apart Curb to the side. Ralox will be picked up by Striker. D-Bang coming from the side just to assist. Curb will be picked up with Evelyn, with Grace chiming in for that kill as well. Evelyn trying to pick up that kill. Will get it successfully, and that's the ace. Kind of an interesting initiation from Luna. They initiated straight onto Pandemonium, who is Riven, who has that spammable shield. She is very innately tanky. They did pick up the kill, but they'd put all of their burst onto the Bruiser. So, yeah, fighting with Baron buff as well. They were trying to catch them off guard. They were trying to basically kill the carries as quick as possible, and they probably saw Riven as a high damage threat. But whether it was worth it or not, I'm not really sure. Because, well, I know it wasn't worth it because they just got ace with 1 kill. 5-4-1 is definitely not worth it. Frogger coming in from the south, along with Ralox. Dressline goes down, but the towers are also falling. They've got to be careful though, because they know the rest of the team's going to be up. But you probably could have fought that. Evelyn doesn't have the ultimate in fact, so yeah, okay. Call from Evelyn was probably made. Doesn't have the ultimate, probably down to about 40% HP as well, so don't need to go for that fight. They can just play it safe. They've gotten a turret. They've gotten 2 turrets, or 3 turrets. Picked up 3 turrets, nearly the inhibitor as well. And they won the team fight. Right now they are ahead in gold. Yeah. It's looking not good. They jumped onto Kerp in that team fight. I didn't quite see it because I was looking more at Pandemonium. But Evelyn jumped onto him. Massive burst damage coming out. Zhonya's was popped probably. But he was under that tier 1 turret. Doesn't give him really much of a safe zone, because that tier 1 turret really doesn't do too much damage. Okay, it vamps up in damage as the team fight progresses, but Evelyn is a burst caster, so she's going to be able to nuke him down pretty much instantly. So that's not really going to vamp up in strength anytime soon. We're going to go for the small objective, pick up that Drake, reclaim some gold. But right now, they're kind of just being a bit too sporadic. A lot of the kills are on Kerp, on Fizz, on Ziggs. Wow, Ziggs. I think I've been calling him Fizz for a lot of the game as well. Yep, I think that's a thing. Ultimate goes down in Agony's Embrace from that. From Deathfire Grasp, that's what I was looking for. Gotta be careful though. Yeah, a huge burst already, you just saw it, down to about 60% HP, and he does have magic resist as well. He's sporting the Negatron Cloak. Yeah, it's looking scary. Gotta be careful, because the Evelyn ultimate is on a fairly low cooldown right now. So yeah, down to a minute. She's probably going to be getting some more cooldown reduction as well soon. They will just go ahead and siege this middle turret. They are probably stronger in a team fight as well. They do not have the Evelyn ultimate, so she doesn't have the sustain with the shield. maybe they're going to just wait for that and then go for the initiate, because they are in the driver's seat, as it were. They can carry on pushing any lane they want, and it's really up to Luna to react to Klaus and what they're trying to force the game into. So Ziggs really isn't having too many mana issues. He's got a lot of damage, and Dredgeline goes out into the ultimate, just kind of pushing them away from the turret, but that wasn't really the most effective of ultimates. Pandemonium going in with the ultimate, popping down the Wind Slash as well. He knows that he wasn't going to get anything done, and they are just trying to counter-initiate anyway, so no real point in keeping that around. I believe Riven's ultimate is a fairly low cooldown as well, so it's not too bad. Yeah, 45 seconds. They can just afford to roam around. Might even wait for the Baron, in fact. I mean, that's something. They don't need to force it. Like, they have the advantage. But that being said, like, they have Riven and Lee Sin. Riven and Lee Sin kind of scale off. Evelynn doesn't too much, but if they want the advantage, you kind of need to push it. And they're probably going to do so at some point, but Riven... Surprised he hasn't actually gone for the Last Whisper. Anyone on the enemy team actually building armor? Apart from the Nautilus, no. They do have the innate armor, but doesn't really need it necessarily. They're just waiting in jungle as well, looking for that pick. It's not going to happen. Rax down at the bottom, just clearing that minion wave. Whether they want to fight this, I don't know, but Frog is going to get initiated on, and massive burst coming from Biceps. With Graves as well, they have such a bursty team. And this is just a free turret. It's just straight up. There's no way they can contest it without their tank. And honestly, he just didn't last very long for a tank. He's got the triple gold per 5 as well. I think at some stage Nautilus was actually trolling, because he was just like, oh well, this game is under wraps. We don't really need to commit to any sort of serious item build, because I believe he went with the Stinger before. But now he's gone. Oh, Ziggs coming in with the ultimate. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Mega Inferno Bomb, too strong. But now he's sold the Stinger because it's not a viable item on Nautilus. Like, I can kind of see it, but it's not a good thing. And hasn't gone for the triple gold for 5 as well. So he'll be scaling into the super late game really well. 2 hours in, he'll be full built. Not even farming creeps, but he has got the Negatron cloak. So he's looking to sustain himself against the Evelynn, because right now it is Evelynn who's just ripping apart the enemy team. Like, she does have the ultimate, which is percentage damage. It's about 31% right now, and it's AoE, and it's a fairly large AoE as well. The shield is super strong. So they've just got to be careful with it. She's not even level 16 yet, that's kind of surprising, but she will be hitting level 16 fairly soon. She's halfway through level 15, and then she gains even more power on that ultimate. Baron is up, looking for the Baron dance right now. And it's really up to Luna whether they want to go for this. And whether they can go for this. Easton's gone for a Frozen Man, it got the peeling power. And Static Charge will actually aggro the Baron. So while Baron's aggro, they're going to go for the initiate. And Kurt being zoned out by that Lee Sin. Frog is coming in from the side as well, looking to lock up the Evelynn just for a couple seconds. Shitty Bang also chiming in with a couple of those shields, but Frog being pushed back. Wonder goes down from Ziggs. Will be picking up the kill onto Janna. Biceps popping over the wall, looking to follow up with some hate spikes. Curb coming in from the side, will be flashing through into the Zhonya's as well. Frogger looking to peel for him, but he will be dropped just in a second. Picking up the kill though onto Evelynn. Will be getting the burst of as he pops out of that Zhonya's. It was a 3-for-3 trade. Ember Sheep on very low HP along with Pandemonium, but they still have the AD carry up, and that is the crucial factor. AD carry up means you can carry on pushing. Whether Irelia can really stop this from happening, like, they have a support and they have a bruiser against a bruiser and an AD carry. They did get a turret bottom though, that's a tier 3 turret. It will be full consolation. Ember Sheep's going to jump on Pandemonium, might be able to drop in Mr. Guardian Angel, picking up that inhibitor. They are actually going for the team fight. Ball goes down, only lands onto a minion. Dexter not actually able to contribute anything to it, and there's the dominating from Graves, picking up the double kill onto Blitzcrank as well. Yeah, way too much kiting capability and very odd initiate. Didn't need to go for that initiate, especially with that inhibitor going down. If you were going to go for the initiate, go for it purely because of the inhibitor. After the inhibitor goes down, you couldn't win the team fight, especially with the kiting capability. Dexter was zoned out to the point where he couldn't contribute anything because he couldn't catch up to grab. He hit the minion, and then he couldn't follow up to hit the power fist either. So it was basically a 1 versus 2 as they both wailed on Irelia. And Graves was just not being harassed at all. Ultimate going down from Ziggs will just be damaging the Baron, not actually picking that one up. Rocket around the side as well, looking for that smite steal, but they can just easily turn this one around. And massive burst coming onto Radux as well. And there is Wandering Blow. They should be okay. Frogget's still alive. Actual damage goes down. They're just going to check that, and he should be able to catch up. There's the quick draw into the auto attacks. Surprised he lasted that long, actually. And Relics has actually managed to survive. So, again, they don't have the smite. They don't have any sort of stealing capability. Whether they can actually stop this from happening, Monsoon goes down first to the healing, the utility. And I wouldn't contest this right now. Yeah, Luna's just going to back off, and that will be another Baron for Klaus. And it's kind of surprising because at the start, Klaus had the advantage, and then when the Team Luna had the advantage after pulling it back from them, they were like, okay, well, we probably got this game. Like, we have it. And then they just started building oddly and just trying to go for ballsy engages, and Klaus just punished them for it. Like, they're trying to... They probably thought they're a team that couldn't, stop them. It's just like, Luna's quite a well-founded team. They're definitely the favourites for this match. And they fought it as well, and they got way too confident. And that's something you see with a couple of high-tier teams sometimes. They try to make these big plays, and they get punished by the enemy team because they work well as a team. Maybe the solo queue reloads might be a bit lower, but as a team they're working really well, and they're punishing them for their mistakes. They're not just taking it down, they're not losing their cool from the plays that they were trying to make, and they were just getting those kills in return. So right now, Graves is a massive problem. He's got a decent amount of farm, he's got 10 kills, 11 assists, got 1-2, got the Guardian Angel as well, got the pickaxe, so he's building Last Whisper. Yeah, when he gets the Last Whisper, that's going to be a huge increase in damage. Evelyn's also looking very scary, got that massive burst potential. Zhonya's Hourglass for the teamfight interrupt. And Lee Sin's just gone straight for the tank build. If you have a bruiser on your team, then go tank. You don't need 2 bruisers, and then you just lack the survivability. Riven, in this case, will be the bruiser, so Lee Sin can just go straight tank, which just makes a lot of sense. And on the enemy team, that being Luna, we have Irelia just not in a great position. He has the Trinity Force, has the Guardian Angel, so she's going to be jumping onto Graves. But honestly, I think Graves can probably duel Irelia right now. And generally, when you have a bruiser, the idea of the bruiser is to kill the AD carries, or the carries in general. But when the carry can actually kill your bruiser, what are you going to do? You can't commit more than 2 people, then the rest of the enemy team will take you apart. So, really, they're looking for a team fight on the turret. If they're going to do anything, they need that team fight where they have the advantage. The enemy team right now has Baron, so they can't go for that team fight. They can't go for that initiate. Then again, if they get a pick from Blitzcrank, then that could potentially be a thing. They just need something to happen. They need some sort of engage. I'm just going to take a quick drink. Okay, let's take a look at some of the more item builds. So we have the Trinity Force, we have the Bloodthirster as well from Jace. He's kind of fulfilling the role of an AD carry, but he's not a pure AD carry, so of course his damage is going to scale off and pale in comparison to Graves as it gets later into the game. That being said, Pandemonium, as we've spoken before, along with Lee Sin, will start to scale off. If Lee Sin goes tank, then he still has the utility, and he still has the E as well, Tempest Cripple, which is going to be super useful against carries anyway. But definitely Riven's damage will start scaling off at some point in the near future. As she gets kills though, as she stays above the curve, then she's going to be able to do more damage. She's again picked up the Last Whisper, as we were talking about before, so she's going to have that small increase in into that mid-late game transition, so it's not going to be too bad. Still going to be doing a lot of damage. She can still fulfill her role as a bruiser. That's the main point. Ziggs right now has most of the kills. Got the 12 kills, 5 deaths, 8 assists. Okay, gone with business survivability as well, but the problem with Ziggs is he has the damage okay, but he's not able to just straight up give the entire team. Everyone's really tanky right now, especially Graves. Well, Graves as well, with the True Grid and the Guardian Angel. Ziggs really just can't melt through the magic resist and the health, the effective health. Ziggs doesn't have the Void Staff, so that's kind of what he needs to stay in contention with the rest of the enemy team. If they can get a pull, that would be great, because then they can turn it into a 4 versus 5, but it depends on who they get the pull onto. And plus they have the Guardian Angels, they can go for the team fight interrupts, and he pulls in the super minion. The problem with Guardian Angel is if you pull in a person with a Guardian Angel, then you can kill the person, but then they'll drop into Guardian Angel. And then the rest of the team can follow up. And then what are you going to do? Frogget actually looking for this niche here, drift line to the terrain, into the Riptide as well. Ultimate coming down from Evelyn. Strike the best in from the side. In Mega Inferno Bomb, not doing too much damage, actually spacing out the enemy team. Biceps coming in from the side, trying to kill Radox. Zonius has been popped. Blitzcrank will fall to Pandemonium, now jumping onto Kurt. Back the best coming in from the side as well to chime in for some more damage. Irelia popping onto that minion, trying to catch up to Graves. Kurt popping over the wall, and that's the double kill. Moving into the Hextech Minefield forcing him into a poor position. He's going to get popped into that Guardian Angel. Zhonya's comes down as well. Ember Sheep also falling over to Pandemonium. They are trying to stop him before they pick up the kill onto Curb, but that'll be the Rampage. Pandemonium has been dropped, and now trading off of Ember Sheep, who still has that Guardian Angel, actually jumping back so he can save it. Now jumping back in with the Blaze Surge because he got the reset from the minion. Frogger also looking to follow up with that CC, and he will be dropping it into the Guardian Angel. Pandemonium will be shut down by the overtime damage from Titan's Wrath. But Graves coming back in as well. He's trying to drop Ember Sheep, who no longer has Guardian Angel. He will have 750 health as he comes up. Can he do the damage? Equilibrium will get the stun. Ignite has gone down, however, and Ultimate Transcendent Blaze just hitting the Wraith, trying to keep himself alive for the regen, for the lifesteal, but will not happen. That was, however, a bruiser for an AD carry, so it was kind of worth it. Graves tried to make the plays, but it just didn't work out. And I think you could kind of sense it's just like, oh, I'm going to have more health when I come out of this, and well, that basically means he's going to get stunned, and there is no way he can get out of that without the use of a Quicksilver Slash, which he does not have at this stage. There's 41 minutes of the game. This is a much longer game than I think any of us really expected. 62 to 63k gold, super close. And honestly, both teams are just as strong as each other. That was a very close team fight. Ziggs was able to kite them around, and now he's got the Void Staff. So he's going to be able to slice through some of that magic resist and the effective health. It's a bit better. He might be able to actually do some more damage. We saw the Mega Inferno Bomb in that last team fight basically space everyone out, forcing them into those small sort of skirmish team fights. Not quite a full-on team fight where you have the mass AoE and just like this cluster where you can't see anything, but spacing out so you had like 2 bruisers versus an AD carry, or you had like these 2v1s and 3v2s, that type of thing. And trying to think about it, honestly, I would have thought that Klaus would actually have the upper hand in that type of team fight, because they have these sort of strong duelists. That being said, they have a lot of healing on the enemy team. They have the Blitzcrank and they have Frogger on Nautilus. That's a lot of CC, so you can probably just kite them all day. That being said, Braddock's Jace will kind of want to be in melee range as well. He wants to be swapping up between those stances, and he hasn't gone straight into that AD carry build. He's actually going more into a bruiser, so they have 2 bruisers. The problem right now is they don't have the raw damage. They have 2 bruisers. In fact, they have 2 bruisers, and they have a tank, and they have like a supporty tank as well. Right now, they're just lacking raw damage from the AD carry. Like, that's the problem for them. Like, the enemy team, that being Cloud, has Graves. He's an AD carry. That's why you need an AD carry. I think they were trying to finish this game kind of in the mid game at the very latest, and now it's gone on to late game. It's kind of coming down to, well, what can we do with it? And Dexter coming in, looking for that Power Fist, moving at light speed, but Frogger will be missing that dredge line and getting out of there. They really need a pick, and it was a good call to actually try and get on that, but it was a good kite from Janna, and Graves also with good positioning. If they can get a kill on Graves, then, okay, they've lost the raw power, and they could potentially go for that team fight. Baron has spawned, going into that Baron dance. 2 Barons so far for Klaus. Are Luna going to go for the contest? That's the main question. Are they going to try and stop this from happening? And do they have wards? They have wards all over the place. They have a lot of poke as well. And you kind of zone them out. Frogger wants to initiate, but he's so scared from, like, so many times he's gone for the initiate and it's just turned out poorly. He wants to get the engage, but he wants to be able to jump on to pretty much everyone so he can land a perfect Riptide, slow everyone down, and they can get to their priority targets. Evelyn's also going to be able, like, if they group up, then Evelyn's going to jump in with that Agony's Embrace into the Deathfire, well, the Deathfire Grass into the Agony's Embrace. Deathfire Grass was first because it is current health. Agony's Embrace is max health, so if you go with the Deathfire Grass, then it's going to do more damage than if you use the Agony's Embrace first. So Evelyn does have a lot of sustained damage as a mage. She is melee though, but she does have a lot of sustained damage. Like, a Hate Spike is massive, and though she is a burst mage, she offers probably more than Ziggs in that respect, in sustain. So, the longest she stays alive, she's still going to be a damage threat. And she also has a teamfight interrupt from Zhonya's Hourglass. They are trying to get her down. If they could get her down before she combos, that would be ideal. Because that's a lot of health, a lot of team health that they're basically stopping being picked up. And then, of course, the sustained damage. She's going to always be that high priority threat, no matter what stage in teamfight it is. Frogger popping the Sorelli is kind of funny with the Astro Nautilus skin. Waiting for something to happen. Okay, let's take a look at another look at the item builds. We haven't seen them for a while. So, mobility boots from Nautilus, so he's really looking for those engages. Got the Randuin's Omen as well, so looking to lock down those ADs. And right now, probably the problem is the ADs. Evelyn is quite a high damage threat, but as long as they have the magic resist to keep themselves alive, that's kind of okay. And there's no real like magic resist item which can kind of lock them down in the same way that a Randuin's can to an AD carry. Both teams have oracles, so they're just going to go around this area, and they are staring each other down right now as well. But yeah, so Riven AD, Lee Sin AD. Got Graves AD, and Janna is kind of support, but she does have a bit of AD and a bit of AP, kind of half and half anyway. But Evelyn is the main source of AP. She is doing fairly well, but the Randoms makes a lot of sense, so you can just stop them from getting onto your carriers, plus the movement speed reduction as well. So they are looping around right here, moving down from the north. This might be an angle they're not used to, or they weren't prepared for, but Embassy's going to see them before anything happens. Right now they are looking for a pick, but they need the pick onto the right person. Frogget looking for the Shirelias. Okay, looking for that initiate onto them. And straight onto Pandemonium. We will go for the team fight, jumping into the enemy team. Randuin goes down as well. Curve coming from the side, being zoned out, actually getting the damage onto them. No one really able to jump on his face right now. Curve coming in from the side, will land his dredge line onto Graves, but he is still putting on the constant damage. Embassy for very low. And Graves flashing forwards, he should be okay though, popping down the quick draw. That was a very ballsy move, and that could have resulted in a potentially one team fight. And despite all of that, no one died. Everyone managing their health really well, and it's really up to everyone who wants to recall and who needs to get back to base to get their health up. But they need to be careful, because the enemy team can just straight up rush Baron. In fact, both teams are just going to recall Gentleman's Agreement. And stop everything. Okay, so Pandemonium's pushing top. I think he got Guardian Angel in that team fight. I think he had a Guardian Angel before that, well, it happened, yeah, has been popped. They did get something out of the team fight. Kerp was, at the start, I thought he was being zoned out, but then I realized it zigs, and he can just attack from, like, years away. So he was getting the constant damage out, but it wasn't very significant. Like, he maybe chunked down the bruises by like 25% HP, but he doesn't have the raw damage. And that's kind of funny, because he's gone for the Void Staff and the Deathfire Grant, the Rabadons rather, and the Zony's Hourglass. He's got 547 AP right now. He hasn't gone for the Fiend's Unholy Grail, which is less damage, more survivability, and more sustain. He's actually gone straight for the damage, but is not able. He's only really able to hit those bruisers, who are very tanky right now. If he really wants to get to the carries, that being from Graves and Evelyn, but he just can't. The front line right now from Klaus is just really, really solid. I'm going to move on to that blue buff, so Dexter just starting that. Probably Zig's picking that one up. And they will be clearing out this ward as well. Thing goes down. They are going for this invade. This could be a team fight. Riptide goes down, protecting the potential engage from the enemy team. Thing out as well. Relics has been popped through the acceleration gate, through the shock blast as well. And we'll be jumping on to... very close. I really was trying to get the reset from her play, so it wasn't able to actually get that done onto the Graves. It's just so many potential team fights, and it's just good counter-initiate from Klaus right now. Graves going to recall to see how much gold he has in his back pocket. 2.5k. Right, okay, he's going to pick up something big. I wouldn't be surprised that's maybe like the Blood First Step. Yep, there we go, the Blood First Step. A lot of sustain. He is really well built. Wait a minute, he's full built. He's got 300 farm, he's got the Infinity Edge, the Blood First Step, the Phantom Dancer, Guardian Angel, Last Whisper, and the boots. Like, if he wanted to finish it up with another Phantom Dancer on top, he could do that. But for all intents and purposes, he is pretty much full built. That is a scary Graves, and he has his Guardian Angel up. Right now, they're still in that predicament where they just don't have a dedicated AD carry. And it's just, how are you going to output the damage? Like, they have the bruises, okay, they have more potential to jump onto the AD carry, but the problem is they weren't able to do so in the last couple of team fights. Once again, they're cleaning it out. Redline goes down. That was very ballsy considering Jace was nowhere near. In fact, if that had landed, they probably would have lost the team fight because of it. So, they had no way of knowing, no. Like, if Striker the Best had known, he probably would have juked into that and forced that engage. Then he'd be enraged like Tempest Cripple, popping the Banshees. Up also there, popping out some damage. That is some pretty significant damage now, just in poke. The best bet right now is probably the poke. Poking them down and then looking for a pick from Blitzcrank. But right now I still feel they're weaker in a team fight, and Jace has gone down bottom because he's forced to, because there's so many minions there. Pink has gone down, they are going for this, 4 versus 5, they know it. Jace is down at bottom. Constant damage coming from Evelyn as well. Rocket around the corner. If they're going to do something, it's probably going to be like an engage for a Smite Steal as well. Purple team picking it up. Ultimate going down. Huge damage coming out. Ripping apart the enemy team. Jace coming in from the side as well. Guardian Angels down everywhere. Pandemonium has not been dropped just yet. Everyone alive from Klaus right now, and will be picking up the kill onto Blitzcrank. Radok's trying to zone them away from Kerp. Picking up the double kill. Kerp still alive and healthy, has got that blue buff. Looking to do some damage onto Graves. Popping down the Zonyas, picking up the triple onto Evelyn. Looking to zone them away, and Chitty Bang juking into the brush. Hitting that Hextech minefield. Kerp putting another one down. Right now, they are both very scared, but Kerp's going to go ahead and go back. They do have the Baron, they have the support and the AD carry life, so they have some peeling. And they have the sustained damage for the turrets. Graves is going to go ahead, push that top turret, 1000 damage crits coming out as well. All about whether Kerp can nuke him down before Graves can, like, nuke him down, but that's pretty much it. Ashitari comes into the Mega Inferno bomb, chunking him down to about 50% HP, just going to poke him out, he doesn't want to full out engage. Meanwhile, Guz juicing out from Graves, picking up that top inhibitor. And now they just need to get out of there before the rest of the team comes up. Actually being very aggressive, Ashitari goes down, yeah. And the rubber duck will not connect. So, again, Klaus just pulling these small advantages back into it, and it was a really good team fight from Luna, because Kurt managed to get his massive damage onto pretty much all of them. The Mega Inferno Bomb hit pretty much everyone, and the rest of his AoE. It chunked everyone down to like 60% HP, and then like 60% HP. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else they need. They kind of, I wouldn't say they straight up lost it, but they came out way too even where that was like a perfect team fight. I think that's the best way of putting it. So, Jace has gone for that Infinity Edge. They are trying to make him as tanky as possible. He had to go for the Hexstring release so he could actually survive the insane burst from Evelyn, and he can afford to because he is essentially still a bruiser. He's got the Chain Vest, probably going to build that straight into a Guardian Angel, because basically that is the thing right now. Everyone needs the Guardian Angels, because the more Guardian Angels means more teamfights interrupts and more effective health in the long run as well. Teamfight interrupts are really, really valuable. Spoken about it a couple times, but basically what it means is you have the Zhonya's Hourglass, which is a teamfight interrupt. They're attacking you and then they're forced to stop, because you're either untargetable, or as well as the Guardian Angel's case, you're still untargetable, but you're basically, for all intents and purposes, dead until you're back up again. That's a teamfight interrupt, and you have to swap your attention to someone else on the enemy team. Problem with that is, when the other person from either Guardian Angel or Zhonya's comes back out of it, they're going to carry on wailing on you instantly. Obviously, there's sort of ways you can go around that, so you can just like place maybe a Hextech minefield around where they're being where they're Zhonya'd or where they're Guardian Angel, but it's still hard. Basically, it's still hard. Popping on the ward, they have 2 oracles right now, in case one gets dropped. They do have the health. They do have the gold right now to actually support those. But right now, it's really up to Klaus really to make these things happen. Right now, they're just going to push down that bottom lane. 2 inhibitors exposed, 1 is actually down. Last tower remaining down at the bottom, apart from those 2 Nexus turrets. They really do need a team fight where they're on their own terms, where they have that advantage. But last team fight, they pretty much did have that advantage. I mean, they were all grouped up, so Fizz can easily go for that ultimate and just absolutely shred the enemy team, which he did, but it just wasn't enough. Jace was out of the team fight, okay, so it was a 4v5 for a little while, but then Jace wasn't really able to really put anything into the team fight that drastically turned it around anyway. That being said, they were lacking a bit of sustained damage, and okay, you could argue that the 2 who were remaining on were like less than 20% HP anyway, so maybe it was purely down to the 4 versus 5 scenario. Very, very interesting. Very interesting to me. Honestly, it's coming down to the stage where it's just like next team fight wins. And it's kind of like Luna needs to win too, because if they win like one team, they need a super like 5-0 team fight to finish. If they get like 3 and they've lost 2, then they can maybe take a turret, maybe 2, but there's not going to be an inhibitor. Probably they might be able to pick an inhibitor, and like it depends on who they get a kill onto. If they get the kill onto like the AD carry on Evelyn, maybe they probably could. Like Pandemonium's damage pretty high right now. Gone for the double blood first. You got the frozen mallet as well for a bit of survivability and the last whisper. So a lot of damage coming out, and it's fairly tanky in return. In fact, I'm interested in seeing how much Valor actually shields her for. 3, 4. So 180 plus 277. That's a lot of shielding, and it's spammable. That's a spammable shield every 5.4 seconds. So yeah, extra AD convert into more survivability for Brother, and that's why you can afford you don't really even need any survivability. It's nice to have the Frozen Mallet though. So while that's not up, and in an actual team fight will give you more effective health. And just waiting for something to happen. Everyone approaching full build right now. Everything pretty conventional. I don't see anything else of the blue. And they are trying to siege this middle inhibitor, which is exposed. Curb running dry on mana though. He's got the Lich Bane, he's got some more sustained damage in there as well. But Curb's gonna need to base soon. Like he needs the mana. And if they go for this team fight, again, mana issues. He doesn't have the Fiend's Grail, the Fiend's Unholy Grail to keep himself sustained, and neither does he have the blue buff. And that's the problem when you're being pushed in and you've gone for an aggressive build where you go for straight out damage. You're not going to have the blue buffs because the enemy's going to be stealing it from you, and you don't have the sustain. So you're constantly going to have to go back. And right now, if they've engaged on them, oh, close pull from Blitz. Right now, they need, like, their best bet is to wait till Curb, that being on Ziggs, is pushing out those minion waves, brings him down to maybe like 20% mana, and he's not going to have enough for his full combo or any sustained damage. So if they engage then, that's pretty much a 5 versus 4. That's kind of what they need. Two Trinity Forces right now, they have a lot of burst damage, they have a lot of picking potential, but they're not letting themselves get picked. They have this high mobility, which we've been talking about so much. I mean, pretty much everyone on the enemy team, that being from Klaus, is really tanky and super mobile. Like, Graves has the quick draw. Okay, that's tied down into his damage steroid, or the attack speed steroid, but you have, like, Lee Sin, who's super jumpy. You have Evelyn, who's super fast as well with the Dark Frenzy. You've got Janna with the passive, and she's inherently fast with the Zephyr passive. Pandemonium also has high mobility with the entire kit, with Broken Wings, with the Valor. Really fast anyway. Baron has spawned, and we are waiting. 3 Barons right now have gone to Klaus. It's such a close game. And they are looking for this initiation, bringing it down, looking for the steal. Not going to happen. It will be blocked down. Bang will be popping the Monsoon, pushing them back. In fact, Blitz pulled her into them, and that just counter-initiated for the enemy team. Pandemonium getting ripped apart. Does have the ultimate, the passive from the Guardian Angel though, and Grace popping over the wall, doing huge amounts of damage, and keeping himself sustained with that Bloodthirster as well. Embassy popping over the wall, looking to follow up, and will be dashing on the wall once again with quick draw. He's kind of hesitating though, looking to do some more damage to Radar. To the skies goes down. Bang will surely be picked up by Embassy. Has the Blade Surge in 1 second. There it is. And that was a 4-for-1 team fight. That was really good for Luna. They needed that. However, the Baron still went to Klaus. Graves is still up, but they're just forced to defend. Like, a lot of minion waves are coming in. They're not healthy enough to go for these tower pushes. Pings goes down onto the Drake, and Graves is going to pick up that red buff as well. Yeah, they can't afford to go for those tower pushes. It's just like, okay, well, they have 4 of them. They've only got 1 person up. Now 1 person is Graves, and he's fully built. So yeah, they can't go for that push. And with the minion waves pushing in as well, there's very little they can do. Okay, Irelia actually gone for the Madras Blood Razor, and it kind of makes sense because everyone on the enemy team has a lot of health. Like, even Janna has a lot of health as well. Got that from the Aegis, got that from the Zeeks, got that from the Ceralias, and bought the Heart of Gold as well. So a lot of health, and there's 2 Frozen Mallets as well. Graves is just, well, Graves generally don't build like a Frozen Mallet for survivability. Though it is a fairly good item on AD carries if you need that kiting capability, but generally you have red buff, so it's kind of okay. And Evelyn, how much health does she have? Kind of got a lot of, oh, but the bruises are what is causing them the issues, because they can't get through the bruises fast enough to get to Graves because they're peeling so well for him. So the Madrid pickup will basically allow her to shred the tanks faster and then get to the squishies. So that kind of makes a lot of sense to me, considering how much health they have on the enemy team. Yeah, I definitely see it. And there's the attack speed, which Irelia just inherently likes anyway, because it synergizes well with her on hits and hidden style. Didn't go for the Wits in this game, which is generally a common Irelia build, but she doesn't need it because there's only one person on the enemy team who really does that AP damage, and that person is Burst. So you're not going to be able to stack up your Wits End fast enough really for it to be effective, and Biceps is never really focusing the Irelia anyway in those team fights, so not really necessary as a pickup. We are moving on to a 1 hour game. Wow, I have not seen a 1 hour tournament game for like literally months. This is just not, generally just doesn't happen, but these guys are really closely matched. And it really just stemmed from the fact that they were just trolling a bit too hard at the start. That being from Luna. And Embersheet looking to follow up. They are split right now, coming in, gets the pull on to strike the best, will be picked up immediately. 5 versus 4 situation, looking for the counter engage. Agony's Embrace will massively be slowing the enemy team. Depth Charge goes down onto Graves, pinning up just for a second into the Mega Inferno, while looking not to be picked up. Dressline goes in as well. Will be popped into the Guardian Angel. Embersheep jumping onto Evelyn to keep her pinned down. Pandemonium from the side, zoning out Frogger. Will be picked up. Graves is now up. Has been shut down finally by that Jace. That was a 2-for-1 trade. And Biceps from the other side will be picked up. Double kill for Jace. Now following up onto Chitty Bang. They are looking for some sort of Equilibrium Strike goes out into a beautiful hook from Dexter. And that's a 4-for-1 trade. Kerp, Dexter, and Embersheep on very low health. But the most important person in sieging, Radox, is still alive and very, very healthy. They'll be able to pick up an inhibitor here. Maybe one of those Nexus turrets. Riven is still alive though. If there was 5 people down, they might have been able to go for the Nexus. But as it is, I wouldn't be surprised if they play it safely and go for those bottom turrets. And Mega Inferno Bomb goes down. Pandemonium actually initiating on them because he knows he has to commit. And that will be the ace. This could be the potential finish actually. It wasn't enough that Pandemonium could do in that position with no Guardian Angel. And this will be the Nexus falling. GG. Game of Thrones coming from Blitzcrank. That was a pretty insane game. 61 minutes and 38 seconds. That is crazy. Pretty much everyone at full item build as well. And actually Northland's picking up the Thorn Mail as well. You generally don't see Thorn Mail because it's just not effective as like other items. But in this situation, yeah, I can definitely see it. With Graves being so fed, the return is the return is kind of useful. Well, GG Throat. I was not prepared for like such an amazing game in the first round, but anyway guys, we are going to jump to a quick break before we jump into round 2. So thank you for watching and stay tuned for more awesome League of Legends action.